Hi guys, so I was about to finish editing the video and then I realized it had no introduction and it's really hard to make sense of what's going on, so let me tell you a little story about it. So a few weeks ago, thanks to my Patreon, I was able to buy a bulk loader and I was really into bulk loading my own film and learning how to do the whole process and experiment with different films and whatnot. And since I am really into color film currently, because I just discovered the world of C41, I started looking for films that I could use on my bulk loader that were color film, and I couldn't find anyone online. So then I decided, okay, maybe I could use some A6 and do some cross-processing, but I'm not a really big fan of cross-processing. I mean, I'm gonna try it anyway, but I didn't feel like buying a whole bulk of that. And then I discovered the marvelous world of movie films. So I got into that and it sucked many hours of my time trying to make sense of which brand should I buy, which one is best, what suits my need better. And I decided to pull the trigger on the Vision3, it's a Kodak film, it's the Vision3 200T, which is a tungsten-based film. Now, one important thing about movie films is that they all have remjet. Now, what is remjet? Remjet is basically a coating that they put on the film. So when it goes into the movie camera, because the movie camera is moving really fast the whole film, if it doesn't have that coating, there's a big chance that due to the heat and the movement, the film might catch on fire, which will be really bad. So they put that coating in order to avoid that. Now, since your camera doesn't need that, the remjet coating is completely unnecessary for photographic purposes. The problem is if you send your film that has remjet and you send it to a lab, basically when they pour the film with all the other chemicals, the remjet is gonna spread all over and it's gonna destroy the chemicals and they're gonna be really pissed at you. So you have to develop this at home. So I got into the whole journey of trying to understand how does remjet works, how can I develop this at home and whatnot. So this video is that process. It starts from loading your film on a bulk loader, as in creating your own rolls, then shooting your film, developing at home, what do you need, and then show you the results and I'll give you my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed. That's it. I'll see you at the end of the video. Okay, so my camera is loaded with the film that we just respooled and I need to shoot some pictures so I can have a result and I can develop them. So let's go to Old Town and take some pictures and I hope they turn out okay. Oh, by the way, I am using, I'm using this filter because the film is a tungsten film. Everything will look blue in daylight. So I need this filter in order to avoid the blueness of the film. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I put a filter on it, I'm gonna shoot in daylight and see how it looks. I'm gonna do both experiments. I'm gonna shoot with and without the filter and show you a difference
afterwards. I hope it all works out. I don't know, man, this is an experiment. Let's see how it goes. So I finished shooting the film. It's done. Now I have to go home and develop it. It's my first time doing this, so if some of you are experts on developing film, movie film as photographic film, please excuse my noobness, but I mean, you gotta start somewhere. So this is my first try, and yeah, it was pretty confusing at first because there are so many stock films for movies and I had no idea. Like, I know about photography films, but movies, no clue. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll show you my process. Man, that's a steep thing. So I'm gonna show you my process when developing that thing, and I hope you enjoy it. And there's a dog. To be honest, it was pretty confusing at first when I started to look into stock films, as in movie films that can be used for 35 millimeters. There's so many of them. I had no idea. I just wanted to use my bulk loader, and then I realized there were so many options, and they have this remjet thing, and the forums on the internet were massive about this thing. So I don't know, I guess I'll just try my best and see how it looks. And see how true the remjet monster is, because I've heard it's terrible, and I also heard other people saying it's not that bad. Oh man, oh, I'm so tired. This thing is steep, man. Like, you can't see it, but man. Okay, I'm not a good vlogger, so fuck it, I'll just show you when I get home.
So before starting, I want to let you know that last time I was complaining that I was wasting too much water, where now that's all the water I am going to need. So I'm using this bucket here, the chemicals are being heated, and this water there for the rinsing. So it's not that much water now. I'm kind of proud of this solution. These are some heaters for fish tanks. But before starting, I have to dilute the remjet solution. So I'm going to dilute this with water, and yeah, I'll pre-rinse the film with this and then develop it as normal, and then before the stabilizer I'll just use my thumbs and rub a little bit the film to remove the last remjet residues, and I guess that's it. That's what the internet says is the whole process, and the internet never lies, right? Okay, so the film is inside. Now I have to pour the remjet removal for 30 seconds. Okay, let's remove it. Gray. Got 1 liter of water and washing soda. Okay, 60 seconds. Delicious remjet. back. As I promised, I'm back at the end of the video. So this is the end of the video. But before reaching the end, I want to give my impressions on this film. I'm really impressed. I really like it. When I was scanning the pictures, I was super happy. All my life as a photographer shooting film, I was very reluctant to people saying, oh, I love this film because it gives me exactly the colors that I love. I was kind of reluctant because I understand it, but at the same time, in today's technology, you can anyway just shoot any film and then alter it a little bit in Photoshop or Lightroom, and you can achieve the result. Sure, when you have a film that gives you the result pretty much immediately, you can save some time, but I wouldn't say it's that much different. That was my impression until I shot this. Now, this film really speaks to me in terms of aesthetic. It has those blue shadows that I like so much, and I don't have to do anything on Lightroom or Photoshop or anything. They're just there. And it has a really nice tint, like a yellowish tint on the lights. I guess that's because I shot most of the pictures on sunlight. That was kind of late sunlight, evening. I don't know exactly what it is. I can't put it into words, but I really like the overall look of the film. So if you've been thinking about buying this film or not, and you're unsure of whether the remjet monster is true, or whether it might be too complicated, or maybe the tones are not for you and whatnot, I did it, and I'm glad I did it. It looks awesome. I highly suggest you trying it. If you can, please give it a try. It's super fun. It's nice. It takes a little bit more time than regular C41 developing at home, but it's not that much time. Like if you're gonna develop C41 at home, you're already wasting a lot of time. So adding a minute and a half more, it's not that bad. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the look of this film, because actually next shoot film episode is gonna be using this guy. I'm gonna be using a camera that I like very much, and I am super excited to use, and I hope to see you there. Big thanks to everybody who has subscribed. I want to give you a big thanks to everybody who has subscribed, and a big fat thank you to all my patrons, because they're the ones allowing me to buy this stuff and experiment and then producing new content for you guys. So thanks a lot to all my patrons, and I hope to see you next week. Keep shooting, guys.